Singapore's total employment continued to grow while unemployment inched up in 2019. Latest figures show total employment grew by 57,000, the largest increase in the past 5 years.
Well, retrenchment stayed similar to 2018 at less than 10,700, while productivity, well, that fell by 1.5%. That's its first drop in at least 9 years.
Overall, Manpower Minister Josephine Teo says the labour market performed better than expected, but warned of uncertainties in 2020 with the ongoing COVID-19 situation. Chloe Chu has more.
The services industry, such as financial and insurance services and infocoms, was one of the main employment drivers in 2019. Employers also exercised greater caution in hiring, resulting in the ratio of job vacancies to unemployed persons going down to 0.8 in December 2019. This compared with 1.10 a year earlier.
2019 was unexpectedly good. It was better than, most of us could foreseeably expect given the uncertain outlook. One of the things that was quite encouraging last year was that the re-entry rate of locals who were retrenched back into employment, that number actually went up just a bit.
But all this changed with COVID-19. The government has downgraded Singapore's GDP growth forecast to minus 0.5 to 1.5% for 2020.
Would not be realistic at all to expect employment growth as we have seen in the last few years. I think it will also be a challenge to keep unemployment at the sort of relatively low ranges over the last couple of years. Some fallout is inevitable. So for the next few months, at least, the priority, the focus, is really to prevent large-scale job losses.
Mrs. Teo said during such times where business is not exactly booming, the smarter thing to do is to use this period for training. She stressed that even though it's tough for companies to be thinking of this now, it's the best way to prepare for recovery when it comes. Economists CNA spoke with say while the outlook may seem gloomy, some sectors would still be hiring during this period.
The sectors that will be worst hit will definitely be those tourism and consumer-related sectors, accommodation, F&B services, retail, as well as air transport will probably be the worst hit. And these four sectors, cumulatively, they account for around 12% of total employment in Singapore. But some sectors would still be resilient throughout this period. There will be increased demand for IT solutions as more firms are actually encouraging workers to work from home.
Experts add that bolder measures like the 12% credit scheme for the global financial crisis might be required for companies with cash flow problems, especially if the COVID-19 situation prolongs. Moving ahead, economists say that Singaporeans should brace for a weak labour market in 2020. Some companies have already frozen their hiring processes, and stagnant or negative wage growth is expected.